They called it a staff, a long towering stone rooted in the sacred soil of Ile-Ife. But those who see only with ordinary eyes call it just a stone. Those who see with ancestral sight know it is a memory of Africa herself, carved in silence, standing in truth. Long before modern men drew borders or flags, the sun rose from the east and set on kingdom that spoke one ancient language, the language of spirit and stone. From the Nile Valley, where the Cushites and Egyptians raised obelisks to salute the gods of light, the same fire of civilization burned down the spine of Africa. In the lands of Kush, what we call Sudan today, kings ruled with divine authority. They built tall granite pillars, straight and proud, to represent strength, kingship, and eternal life. Their neighbors in Egypt did the same, raising obelisks that pointed to the heavens, marking the link between the earth and the gods. But as centuries passed, kingdoms fell and empires faded. The sands shifted, the Nile whispered, and people began to move. Some went north, others went west, following rivers, trading paths, and dreams. Among these travelers were priests, warriors, and builders, bearers of sacred knowledge. They carried with them not gold, but symbols of kingship, order, and divine power. And one of those symbols was the stone of power, known among the wise as the staff of the sky. Generations later, they reached the lush lands that would become Ile-Ife, the cradle of the Yoruba people. Here, the old memory found new form. The spirit of kingship took shape again, not in papyrus or pyramid, but in living stone. From these roots rose Oduduwa, the founder, and from his line came Oranmiyan, the fiery prince, half legend, half lightning. He was a warrior who had journeyed from the east and returned to rule the west. He carried within him the echo of Kush, the discipline of Egypt, and the soul of Africa. When he passed on, the people did not bury his memory in dust. They raised a stone monument, taller than 10 men, carved from ancient granite, to mark his power. They called it Opa Oranmiyan, the staff of Oranmiyan. But in truth, it was never meant to be a staff that a man could hold. It was a pillar of remembrance, the same kind of sacred monument his ancestors once raised beside the Nile. Look at it closely. Long, narrow, reaching to the sky, it stands just like the obelisks of Egypt, those of Karnak and Heliopolis. It carries the same message, that a ruler is chosen by the heavens and that power must stand upright, never bending. In Sudan, the Kushite kings of Meroe built tall stelae for the same reason, to immortalize their link with the gods and to honor their ancestors. The resemblance isn't a coincidence. It's the continuation of one African story told in different tongues. Egypt spoke in hieroglyphs, Sudan in Meroitic signs, and Ife in Yoruba proverbs. Where others see difference, the wise see connection. The oranmiyan staff is the African obelisk of the West, carved not by slaves of Egypt, but by descendants of the same knowledge, shaped by time and distance. So when people laugh and say, "How can that be a staff?" let them. For truth isn't always held in the hand. Sometimes it stands taller than a man can reach. If truly it were a walking stick, then tell me, would the owner of a walking stick not be taller than his stick? The Oranmiyan staff rises over 18 feet high. So shall we then say Oranmiyan was taller than a palm tree? No, that stone is not for walking. It is for remembering. It is a pillar of power, not a prop for footsteps. That stone isn't a walking stick. It's a witness. A witness that Africa's greatness didn't begin with explorers or foreign books, but with her own sons who spoke in stone. The upper oranmiyan stands as the African obelisk of the West, speaking the same ancient truth as the monuments of Egypt and Sudan, that kings are chosen by heaven, and that true power stands upright forever.